Alright everybody, in today's video I'm going to show you guys how to test a Volvo electric power steering pump. Now this one was off of a C70 I believe. Got it straight from the junkyard. Paid like 39 to 40 bucks for this, which is pretty freaking cheap considering these are going for over 150 on eBay. If you guys are planning to throw these into your car, or just simply, you know, if you're selling them, this is how you test to see if the pump is working. Now, I know there is a lot of tools out there you can use to test if it's working, but if you're like me and you don't want to wait for the, you know, tools and stuff like that, you can actually just go. Alright, let me just get straight to the point. So basically, to test if your Volvo steering pump is working, all you'll need are these little test wires that you can get from Harbor Freight. So both sides have these prongs on them. And these are able to handle up to 300 volts. So it comes in a pack of 10, but you only really need 3 of them. And if you're kind of like me and you just want to make it more convenient, just buy these as well. These are 50 amp clamps. So you'd actually want something a little higher. I mean, it's always better if it's higher, but for me, I'm just going to use these because it was convenient for me to grab these. But these are 50 amp clamps that I got from Advance Auto. You can probably use the ones you find at Harbor Freight as well, but I wasn't thinking, so, you know, I just got these. I had to go to Advance Auto for these. But basically, you connect the test connector here, the test wire, onto this so that this can activate. And then you'll need another one for the positive. Same thing. Negative and positive. And then an extra test connector here. Where this extra one's gonna go is to the signal. So there's usually, when you guys get these at the junkyard or just anywhere in general, there's gonna be 2 of them that are twisted up together, and then one that's just hanging, which is the one that's kind of like greenish, bluish, kind of. So it'll be by itself over here. Or if you want, it's just the one on the far right here. So this is the signal. So when you hook up your pump, you'd actually want to hook this up to a button, assuming you're not gonna hook it up to the ignition. So after that, you'll need a car battery. Now something that's, you know, 60 amperage, 50 to 60 amps would be great. This one is only 41 amps per hour, which is a little too low. These kind of take up a lot of power. I mean, you would be fine with like a 40 amp if there was an alternator consistently charging the battery, but for testing purposes, just use any battery, honestly, you have laying around. Make sure you charge it full, because this will drain the heck out of the battery. So once you have everything ready to go, make sure you're like exposing these wires here, the positive, the negative, and the signal. These 2 wires you don't have to worry about. We probably won't even connect it when we put it in the car, or maybe if you have to, I don't know. But what you do is just connect the negative to the negative and the positive to the positive. Pretty straightforward. Now, I was trying to find a video that went straight to the point, but I couldn't. Something that was simple and straight to the point. So I just decided to just make up my own thing here. So So after you got the positive and negative, make sure to use the extra lead connector here for the signal. There we go. The signal is connected. The negative, the positive is all connected. So what you'll want to do is connect the positive first, and then you'll connect the negative to the negative. Make sure you don't mix those up, otherwise your power steering is going to be cooked. But after that, what you will do is you don't connect this to any of the connectors in the positive. You just want to tap and hold this on the positive until it turns on. But let's try it out and see if this one works. I have not tested this one yet, so we'll see. Make sure to also hold the power steering, as the power steering pump will twist when it starts up. Alright, my battery was dead, so I just finished recharging my car battery here. Yeah, 40 amps kind of suck, so that was a cheap battery. Positive, negative. And there you guys go. DIY rig. Now, if you guys are questioning, do we need power steering fluid in here? And do we need to hook up the hose? The answer to all those questions is no. You can test the power steering pump dry. The only thing is, you cannot run it for more than 5 seconds. If you're testing this dry like I am, I tested all 3 of mine, all of them dry. You can only run them for 5 seconds. If you're running them for more than 5 seconds, you can run into problems like the motor inside the power steering. That thing could wear out. You can probably just have long-term like issues if you run it dry for too long. So this is basically just a test to see if it starts up and runs. So you only need 5 seconds anyways. Now the hoses, the return and pressure line, you will not need those. But do keep in mind that power steering, assuming that there was previous, fluid in here that hasn't got all cleared out, there is going to be some power steering fluid that is going to leak out of here. The pressure, leak out where the pressure line goes. So that's why I have a rag down here, as you can see. Just a little bit of power steering fluid ain't gonna hurt nobody, so just put a rag down and just do what I do. So in conclusion of today's video, you basically need 3 lead test connectors that you can find at Harbor Freight. Get a pack of 10, they're like $6. And you'll need these 2 clamps, the positive and the negative clamp. I mean, it doesn't really matter the color, but you need 2 of these 50 amp plus prongs. So you can hook up the test connector onto the prong here for the positive and the negative. And then you will need an extra test connector, which is hooked up to the signal on the connector on the steering pump. So you hook up the positive first, the negative second, and then make sure you hold on to the power steering because this thing is going to twist on you. So once you have those hooked up, hold the steering pump. What you'll do is just tap this, the extra one that's hooked up to the signal, on the positive. And it will take a few tries before it starts up. If you hear it like twisting and pumping but it's not starting up, that could just be your battery. Your battery may just be low on battery, or your battery probably just sucks. So just recharge the battery quick until it's full, and then just try it again. It'll work. Now that was my DIY for testing a Volvo electric power steering pump. If you guys enjoy the video or have any questions, definitely leave them down below. Otherwise, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. I'll catch you guys on the next one.